I've been feeling it, and I'm sure many of you have too. There's something different in the air these days. It's a quiet, almost invisible shift, yet totally impossible to ignore. It's like the energy of the planet is reorganizing itself, dissolving old beliefs of scarcity, and making way for a new era of prosperity. Maybe you've noticed the signs. Old habits just don't make sense anymore. Shallow conversations feel empty, and there's a growing desire within you to live a life of true abundance. This isn't random. It's the universe calling us to finally wake up to our power as creators. Today, I want to share how this transformation is unfolding, what signs show us the veil of scarcity is lifting, and how you can align your energy with the frequency of abundance. This transition isn't just a vague feeling. It's happening now, showing up as tiny cracks in the belief systems we were taught to accept. Maybe you've noticed, your job doesn't fulfill you anymore. Routines feel hollow, and you crave something deeper that you can't even put into words. These are clear indications that the programming of scarcity is losing its grip, and in that open space, abundance begins to flow in. Joe Dispenza says that when we change our energy, we change our physical reality, and that's exactly what we're experiencing right now. Fear, which once kept us small, is being replaced by clarity. Mindless effort is giving way to conscious creation. The old world survived on fear and scarcity. The new world is already resonating with abundance. Breaking through this illusion feels like a cleansing. What you used to accept without question, like struggling every day just to get by, following imposed rules, and believing that success is only for a few, starts to crumble before your eyes. What we often called the matrix can be understood as the old scarcity programming. It told you that you couldn't, that you weren't capable, that you had to settle for less. This programming is everywhere, in the way we're raised, what we hear about money, and the beliefs that rich people can't be good or money is dirty. But now, as the veil of scarcity begins to lift, you start asking questions. And that questioning isn't weakness, it's strength. It's the start of awakening to abundance. Because to question is to rewrite your own reality. It's about looking at yourself and realizing that prosperity never depended on superhuman effort, but on your ability to align thought, emotion, and action. When you shift your vibration, everything around you responds. You stop being a victim of circumstances and become a conscious creator. Here's something people rarely talk about. As this veil disappears, you naturally lose interest in the distractions that used to consume your energy. The shows, the mindless scrolling, the small talk, all those things that used to numb you suddenly lose their appeal. That's because your soul refuses to stay in the low-frequency vibe of scarcity. What once felt like entertainment now sounds like noise. Instead, you crave silence, presence, meaning. The emptiness you feel isn't depression, it's space. Space for real abundance to enter. The universe can only bring you prosperity when you have created the internal space to receive it. This shift in vibration might feel scary at first, because it seems like you're losing things. But in reality, you're clearing the way so something much bigger can show up. As Abraham Hicks often says, prosperity doesn't come when you desperately chase it. It comes when you align with it vibrationally. That's what's happening. When you stop feeding on what's artificial, you make room for what's real. Before I move on to the next signs of awakening to abundance, I want to ask you something. If this message is resonating with you, go ahead and like, subscribe, and drop a comment below sharing which of these signs you've noticed in your own life. Not only does this help strengthen our community, but it also sends a powerful message out to the universe. You're ready to sustain the frequency of abundance. After all, engaging is a way of showing that you choose to be awake. So tell me, which signs are showing up for you? As prosperity gets closer, you might notice a strange sensation, an internal tug-of-war, as if your soul is yearning for a life of abundance while your mind, still stuck in old patterns, tries to keep you playing small. Maybe you've felt this at work, in relationships, or even in your daily habits. A disconnect between what you do and what you truly want. This dissonance isn't a mistake. It's a clear sign that you're ready to let go of scarcity programming. The body gets depleted when we force ourselves to live against our inner truth. The mind grows tired from repeating stories that no longer serve us. The heart aches because it knows you were born for more. This conflict is actually the bridge to transformation. It's pushing you out of autopilot and into a new, creative state of consciousness. The universe responds the moment you say, "Enough." When you finally decide to stop betraying yourself and start listening to your own voice, the law of attraction kicks in, fast. One more powerful sign that you're breaking free from scarcity. You naturally drift away from anything that doesn't resonate with your new frequency. It's not about rejecting people, places, or conversations. It's your energy simply saying, "This doesn't nourish me anymore." Relationships based in neediness, toxic environments, complaint-filled talk, all of this starts to fade away without you even trying. Why? Because your vibration is rising, and low-vibe stuff just can't stick around. Letting go isn't loss. It's purification. It's the universe getting you ready for new connections that vibe with prosperity, support, and growth. Napoleon Hill, in his classic Think and Grow Rich, reminds us that our environment shapes our mindset. Surrounding yourself with people who believe in abundance multiplies your chances of creating wealth. So if you're feeling like you're leaving things behind these days, don't feel guilty. You're not losing. You're making space for the new. There's another sign that many people mistake for losing their minds. The feeling that linear time is falling apart. Suddenly, hours feel like minutes, minutes like hours. Some days fly by. Others seem to last forever. This isn't confusion. It's a shift in energy. Rigid linear time is a construct of the scarcity mindset. It exists to measure productivity, control, and the supposed lack of opportunities. But when you start resonating with abundance, time expands. Life unfolds in waves, in inner cycles. You begin to learn that the present moment is the real source of creation. And you realize that what used to seem urgent often isn't that important at all. When you step outside linear time, you access creative time, where ideas flow, opportunities appear, and the universe responds effortlessly. As Deepak Chopra puts it, abundance is not something you chase after, it's something you tune into. And this attunement doesn't happen within rigid schedules. It happens in the now. Perhaps the deepest sign of all is this. You start realizing you don't belong in the old world anymore. Suddenly, things like status, social validation, titles, or even goals that used to feel huge just don't have the same shine. You feel a strange kind of longing, as if you're searching for a home you've never visited, but somehow know exists. This is the true call of abundance. Your soul is trying to remind you, you didn't come here just to survive. You came here to create. That feeling of not belonging is proof that your energy has outgrown the old programming. It's an invitation to return to your original power, to your creative self. At its core, prosperity isn't about accumulating things. It's about aligning with who you truly are, a limitless being, capable of attracting all you desire. Money, opportunities, relationships. These are just reflections of that alignment. At this point, you don't just survive the collapse of scarcity, you pass through it, reborn into abundance. And before we move on to some practical steps, I want to share a real-life story that will inspire you and show how this process can unfold in everyday life. Testimonial by Sarah Miller, 38, Frisco, Texas. My name is Sarah Miller. I'm 38, and I've been living in Frisco, Texas for almost a decade. My life, like most women I know, is a constant juggling act between taking care of my teenage daughter, keeping up with my fast-paced world in digital marketing, and, almost never successfully, trying to carve out a little time just for myself. For the longest time, I thought being successful meant keeping all those balls in the air, making sure every meeting happened on time, the house stayed somewhat organized, my daughter was happy and healthy, and still pulling off Sunday lunch with my parents who live nearby. But gradually, I noticed something was shifting, so slowly and subtly that I couldn't explain it. I realized at some point those quick chats with coworkers about the latest news or the newest shows just didn't interest me anymore. Sitting in traffic, I found I had no desire to listen to my usual podcasts. Scrolling Instagram which used to be my break from everything else, only left me more anxious. I felt a kind of emptiness, like my routine no longer fit me. One Friday, after an especially stressful afternoon, I watched a video about mindful breathing. I sat on the couch, closed my eyes for a few minutes, and just breathed. No expectations. But right away, I felt something good, like I was reconnecting with myself. In the days that followed, I tried to repeat that moment. 5 minutes of silence after my daughter went to bed. I started remembering vivid dreams, having sudden new ideas, and even got the urge to jot down thoughts on my phone as soon as I woke up. I noticed I had almost zero patience for negative conversations or drama at work. I found myself turning down invitations or walking away from conversations when the energy felt too heavy. On the other hand, I started opening up to new things. I finally said yes to coffee with a neighbor, something I'd never found time for. I started meditating with an online women's group, right here from Texas. And even at church, I realized my prayers shifted from asking to mostly giving thanks. The strangest and most beautiful part is that my life started to feel lighter, even though there weren't any big external changes. The problems and challenges were still there. Stress at work, the roller coaster of raising a teenager, money worries from time to time. But now I was facing it all differently, almost as if I was observing from the outside, with more clarity and less fear. Looking back, I see the most important change wasn't achieving anything material or fixing my life once and for all. It was feeling, deep down, that I can be happy now, that I don't have to settle for less or live on autopilot. Now I know that sense of emptiness was just space for something new to come in. By creating quiet and taking care of my energy, I began to attract different people, ideas, and opportunities. And the biggest confirmation for me was this absolute, genuine feeling of peace inside my heart. If you had told me a year ago that just changing my energy would make my whole world feel different, I would have thought that was an exaggeration. But today, I am living proof that the veil of scarcity has started to fall away, and I'm excited to see where this new energy can take me next. Sarah's story is incredible, isn't it? Hearing experiences like hers reminds us that we're all on this journey of transformation, each in our own unique way. Maybe you've felt that urge to change too. Maybe you've been searching for more meaning, or you've noticed small but profound shifts happening inside you. If anything like this has happened in your life, I'd love for you to share in the comments. Your story might be the spark someone else needs to take their next step. Now let's get right to it. I want to share some practices that will help you align your energy with the frequency of prosperity so you can cross this transition with greater clarity and intention. When you start noticing these signs, it's natural to feel confused, maybe even afraid or alone. But it's important to remember, all of this is a vital part of the process because the old programming of scarcity is unraveling to make room for the new. To move through this transformation with more balance and creative power, there are simple, powerful practices that keep you vibing in the field of abundance. 1. Conscious breathing. Breathing in and out with full presence is your way of telling the universe, I am here, in this moment, open to receive. Every deep breath interrupts the automatic thoughts of lack and reprograms your mind for trust. Whenever you feel anxious about the future or fearful of losing something, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and remember, you are already abundant. Prosperity is flowing to you right now. Breath is your anchor in the field of creation. 2. Curate what you consume. Negative news, conversations full of complaints, and content that fuels fear block your vibration. During an awakening like this, you're extra sensitive and receptive. Every word, every image, every piece of energy you absorb shapes your frequency. So nourish yourself with messages that expand you, that inspire, that remind you of who you truly are. Your mind is like a garden. If you plant seeds of fear, you harvest limitation. If you plant seeds of abundance, you harvest prosperity. Choose what you let into your world as carefully as you tend the sacred soil of your life. 3. Record your dreams, visions, and insights. As your frequency rises, inner portals start to open. Ideas show up unexpectedly, signs appear in daily details, and your dreams reveal secret paths. Don't ignore these. Keep a notebook by your bed and write down phrases, images, and emotions. The universe often speaks in subtle ways, and only those who listen closely can interpret the message. These notes are codes of abundance. Your rational mind might not understand them yet, but your soul does. Tracking these signs is like collecting secret maps that will guide you to prosperity that's already yours. 4. Surround yourself with those who support your light. Not everyone will understand this awakening, and that's okay. The journey to prosperity is partly traveled alone, but you don't have to walk it all by yourself. Seek out people who resonate with your new frequency, who believe in expansion, who don't judge your process. Whether it's groups, communities, or even just meaningful conversations, being around like-minded people multiplies your energy. As Jim Rohn said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So choose wisely who walks beside you. The universe will always send you those who support your evolution. 5. Practice silence. Every day, sit for a few minutes with no stimulation, no noise, no distractions. Silence may seem simple, but it's where you access the true source of abundance. It's where answers show up, where anxiety melts away, where your essence speaks. Silence is the portal where you stop being a victim and become a creator. That's when the law of attraction kicks in strongest, because it's in silence that you align yourself with the infinite field of possibility. When the world is shouting scarcity, choose to retreat. In that stillness, prosperity will whisper your next step. The lifting of the veil of scarcity is not a punishment, it's a calling. It's the universe opening the way for you to live as you were meant to, abundant, free, creative. If this resonates, write in the comments, I choose to live in abundance. I want to read your declaration, because every word you write is an energetic contract with the universe. And if you want the next part, where I reveal the external signs that scarcity is collapsing in the world, leave a comment. I want to see the signs of prosperity on the planet. Thank you so much for being here until the end. Remember, you're not alone in this awakening. There are many of us going through this transition together, and every step you take toward abundance helps raise the frequency of the whole planet. So subscribe to the channel, share this video with someone who needs this message, and hit like so our community can keep growing. The future isn't scarcity, the future is prosperity. And that future begins right now, inside of you.